Hey church, I'm Jared Miller, the Minister for Families here at St. Andrews. And this week I've been thinking a lot about mission. It's a big topic, but I wear a couple of different hats here at the church. And I have my family ministry hat and I have my mission hat. And for the last little while, I feel like my family ministry hat has been getting a lot of wear. I've been trying to think about how families can stay connected during this time. Trying to think about what it means to be a full-time working parent and a homeschooler and dealing with all of the unique financial challenges that families are facing. But my mission hat has spent a lot of time on the shelf lately. Partly, I think it's because we understand that mission is fundamentally about relationships. And in a season like this one, relationships take a different kind of work to maintain. We're simply, as a church, just not able to provide the same kind of connection points in our neighborhood, in our community, even throughout our city that we used to. But I do think it's a mistake to think that that means that mission is somehow on pause. In fact, I think we're actually having a little bit of a missional renaissance as a church, and you might call it an Areopagus moment. The Areopagus, which literally means Mars's hill, is a rocky outcropping in Athens where trials and public debate used to happen, where influential men and women would gather together and discuss the big ideas of their time in the first century. It also happens to be the place where, according to the book of Acts, the Apostle Paul preached one of his most famous sermons. You can find this in the 17th chapter of the book of Acts. It says, Paul stood in front of the Areopagus and said, Athenian people, I see how extremely religious you are in every way. For as I went through the city and I looked carefully at the objects of your worship, I found among them an altar with the inscription, To an Unknown God. What therefore you worship as unknown, I proclaim to you. Then a couple of verses later, he goes on and says, For it's in him that we live and move and have our being, as even some of your own poets have said. For we too are his offspring. What I love here is that Paul quotes the most popular thinkers of his day back to those who are already listening to him. He reminds us that mission is not about opinions or preferences, that it doesn't rely on divisive practices or even particularly religious language. He reminds us that mission is fundamentally about bringing the incarnation of God to bear on every single interaction we have, whether we're 6 feet apart or 600 feet. Today, our culture seamlessly flows from digital into analog and then back again. This space is our Areopagus. This is our launch pad to connect with a generation of men and women and children who are less and less likely to ever walk through the doors of a church building. But here is the space where we can meet them. Here is the space where we get to share the same amazing news that Paul brought with him into the city of Athens. That it is in him we live, that it is in him we find our movement, our animation, and that it is in him that we have our very being. Over the next couple of weeks, I'm excited because we're going to be rolling out some new digital ministry initiatives here at St. Andrew's Church that we hope you'll not only enjoy personally, but that you'll take the time to share and support as we seek to live digitally into our vision as a church of growing life together with God, whether we are online or not. But for now, continue to take care of yourselves and keep taking care of each other. For now, all the best. Take care. Bye for now.